The college football experience week 1 reaction show on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by the SGP Patreon. Yes, score exclusive perks, content and contests, including the NFL win totals contest with a $1,000 prize. Join today at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. Once again, that's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. We're also brought to you by Game Time. Snag the tickets without the stress. Use the promo code SGPN on your first purchase to save $20. Download the Game Time app. Use the promo code CFBX for those $20. You're going to save $20. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Play the Underdog Pick'em in college or NFL and win up to 20 times the amount in one game. Use promo code SGPN at Underdog Fantasy for 100% deposit bonus up to $100. We're also brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the app now and use the promo code SGP. New customers can score $200 in bonus bets instantly when they bet just $5 on any NFL game. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with the promo code SGP. And remember, as always, folks, too, let it ride.
This is Randy Cross. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Yes. Woo! Welcome to the college football experience week 1 reaction show. There's a sprinkle in my eye. I hope you fucking listen to me. I gave away maybe just, I gotta look at
the touting begins.
This is really fresh, man. I mean, folks, I had a 21 point dog parlayed with a 14.5 point dog on the money line. It's God bless America. All right. Look, if you're wondering who the hell you're listening to,
football is good to Colby right now.
Yes. If you're wondering who you're listening to, my name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I'm probably drinking too much and celebrating too much and not sleeping. Would have killed a normal man, but no, that's gone. The medical advice I got from that was like being hit by lightning. Pretend it never happened and get on with your life.
Look out, just watch him go. Down to Buffalo.
Oh, man. I mean, that's got to be the story of the day, right?
It's down to Buffalo. Got winning money on a fucking Buffalo. Let's go. I am sorry. Let me just introduce everybody. I am joined by my co-host. Give it up for former JMU Duke defensive back, the burrito eating, sideline kiss stealing, wheeling and dealing, Patty C in the place to be.
Hi-oh. Yeah, buddy.
I've had a lot of winning days. This one might be.
It's a good way to kick the season off, and it means a particularly high amount to you.
There's a scene in the movie Scarface that I really appreciate where like the cops go to like break down the door and the guy, they're knocking on the door and it's a bust and they know they're coming.
Yeah.
And there's like a bunch of drug dealers.
Yeah.
And a guy, I think takes a chainsaw through a glass window and falls out like a second story window.
Yeah.
When Wyoming just hit right now, I almost jumped out the fucking window. I wanted to be like that guy. I wanted to be like that guy in Scarface, right? Folks, I hope you listen to me. Yeah, I lost a couple games, but I had a fucking amazing fucking day. I don't think you understand. Yeah, I had Colorado at plus 775. That's one ticket. I had Wyoming at here. Let me just make sure I'm not spitting gibberish here. 455, right? 2 separate tickets, nice little wagers. But I also had one parlayed. Oh, buddy. I'm sorry. We're supposed to recap and talk football, but I feel like fucking Lionel Richie over here. I'm dancing on the fucking ceiling. All right.
I mean, how about more impressive and more? This is like, I guess, what was it, 2 years ago that, or maybe 3 years ago now that Leach came into the SEC and set an SEC passing record. His first game. Oh yeah. He's one of our guys.
Yes.
I don't know if Prime Time's one of our guys, but Colby's a big Colorado guy. Shedeur Sanders comes in game one, sets a Colorado.
Let's open up there because I was baffled. You know, I know Deion's got the press conference where he's saying this stuff, but like I legit was baffled when I would listen to other people that I respect their football opinion, right? Or I thought I respected because I was very confused. Honestly, I was very confused on how people were laying the 20. I can understand thinking TCU would win.
Well,
but people that really thought to lay 21 points or 20 and a half, and I'm like,
it's not that far fetched. I mean,
why is it?
If you're looking at it at
all
a snapshot,
3 of us took Colorado the points.
If you're not looking at it closely enough, you're looking at a team that went to the national championship against a team that sucked last year.
Okay,
and
that's the TMZ crowd. That's that. If you want to go listen, you're not listening to us.
Let me push back a little bit
like that.
Let me push back a little bit because I'm going to tout mine in a little bit here. And you have focused yourself on continuity, a new coaching staff being elements that
not anymore. Every team's got like 40 new fucking players. Well, I just previewed 133 fucking teams.
Let's immediately then touch on another 9 a.m. game that, you know, just this morning you were a little less confident that the Cincinnati Bearcats would show out. New coach,
yes.
New quarterback.
But that was against Eastern Kentucky, dude.
It was against a terrible team, but the point is, those were factors that made you doubt the Cincinnati's ability to come in and dominate right away, which are also, you know, I think significant reasons why there should be a question about Colorado. They answered those questions.
No, but I'm saying, like, if you were to put, to me,
the talent
matchup
versus the talent. Yes.
Yeah, it made a lot of sense. That's why I was like dumbfounded. People that I respect that I think are smart football people. I was like, what the fuck? Shout out to Randy Cross. Me and Randy Cross had a good conversation. Former Super Bowl champ. He was on the Colorado Buffaloes money line. And really that, like, to me, it was just like, wait a second here. They hired Sean Lewis and Charles Kelly, and I thought those were great fucking hires.
Well, the other thing,
great fucking hires,
great
right?
Coordinator hires.
That was the most important thing when Deion got hired.
I agree.
When he brought those two in, because at first when Deion got hired, I go, you know, like, yeah, he'll bring in some names, but I don't gotta
know
see
how he is as a coach. He's a CEO.
When he landed those two, I said, oh yeah, he's being fucking.
He got some
he's being really smart about this, right?
Yeah,
and I mean. I just feel like if you cover college football, like hold on, let's play the Tom Luganbill clip because I like Tom Luganbill, right? But at the same time, we are going to shit on him right now. But I like him as a person. But I'm just saying, here we go. Let me play this clip.
Luke
this is from after what UMass beat New Mexico State. There was this video where Tom Luganbill says this.
I think we're gonna finally see, for all the hoopla and all of the hype going into the offseason with Deion Sanders in Colorado, it does not mask the fact that they don't have any players on that roster. And you thought UMass was the worst roster in college football? It may be Colorado's. Now I say that, do they have a quarterback? Yes. Do they have 2 starting corners that could be NFL guys and one of them plays both ways? Yes. They are so devoid of talent up front on both sides of the ball. I don't know how they're going to keep their quarterback upright.
See, I was shocked by that take because I would assume he watches all the college football games that we watch, right? If you know that, you know, we brought in multiple Kent State offensive linemen. Kent State actually fared decently well against Georgia last year, right? Brought in a really good offensive lineman from Jackson State.
Kent State has had an offense that could go for years now.
That's what I'm saying. You're bringing in all those guys. Then you're bringing in, if you watched South Florida football, I know they were terrible, but Jimmy Horn and Xavier Weaver popped off screen to me. If you watched last year, I said, oh, who are these guys?
Yeah.
So when I saw Colorado land them, I said, fuck yeah. Right. Travis Hunter, obviously, it's Travis Hunter, and he mentioned he's even giving credit to Hunter and McLean, right? For the running back position, I knew we got that. Deion flipped that 4-star from Notre Dame. The guy who had 4 touchdowns, Tyler, was it Edwards? Is it?
That was Dylan Edwards.
Dylan Edwards. Yes, I'm sorry. So he was originally going to Marcus Freeman. Deion flipped him, right? But I didn't even know he was going to start because we landed Alton McCaskill from Houston, who was just 2 years ago because he missed all last season because he got injured in spring ball. He was the AAC Freshman Player of the Year. We also landed Cavassier Smoke, who I thought was a decent running back in the SEC, right?
Let me 2 things here.
Yeah.
1, you do study football all day long.
Yes.
Right. And you're particularly invested in the Colorado program. So you probably have a greater knowledge of that.
But I knew those guys' names not at Colorado.
Yeah. No,
right?
I think
so like that's where I'm dumbfounded when people had this
at
belief.
It a little bit, you see all this talent come in. Now let me throw Logan Bill a bone here. Colorado rushing 34 carries, 55 yards, 1.6 yards per rush. So it doesn't seem like they really did dominate along the line of scrimmage, but no one expected Shedeur Sanders to be 38 of 47.
If you count all those little tiny screens as rushes,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like that's a forward pass that was a 1-yard pass that went for 80 yards.
Is that offensive line dominance though, or did Colorado just have a shit ton of weapons and use them really well?
I thought for sure the first half, I thought Colorado won the line of scrimmage.
Okay.
Second half, Colorado, especially on the defensive line, they got beat, and TCU was exploiting that.
Yeah,
but
it was a shootout.
I mean, this is what I expected. Like I said, I'm not saying Colorado's going to go 10-2 or something. I'm just saying in this particular matchup where TCU is only returning 3 starters on offense, right?
They have more weapons than TCU.
I thought I gave this analysis. I was on multiple radio shows in the past 72 hours where I said Colorado's better at quarterback, better at running back, better at wide receiver. Yes, TCU is better on the offensive line. TCU is better on the defensive line. TCU is better in the linebacking core, but I think Colorado could be as good in the secondary.
I would not have necessarily said even Colorado was better at quarterback coming into this game.
I would, because I've seen more of Sanders than I have Chandler Morris.
Sure, I agree with that. They're more.
Starts mean something.
More
of
a known
football.
quantity, yes, but Chandler Morris a higher rated recruit. I guess with Chandler Morris a 4 or 5 star. Shedeur Sanders a 4-star. So both, highly rated recruits. I don't think Shedeur Sanders.
To me, reps are reps though. I've seen Shedeur start for 2 fucking years.
Yeah, I would. If I had to choose one of the 2, I would have taken Shedeur coming into the game. But it wasn't like a clear cut that he was definitely going to be the better quarterback throughout the course of the season.
I thought he was.
I think so.
Yeah.
At this point, it looks like that.
Yeah. But I thought there was a chance I could be wrong. But I'm saying I thought
clear cut advantage.
If I had to bet, I would have bet on that.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why I was dumbfounded at the line being 21. I was like, what the fuck am I missing here? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
TCU's breaking in a brand new offensive coordinator. Their defense wasn't great last year, even though we like the DC.
Yeah.
Right. The offense has only got 3 starters back, including the most important position.
Yeah.
Right. They played 1 million close games a year ago.
To use a cliche, the straw that stirs the drink is gone. And it was the quarterback. No one's drawing a blank on his name. It's gone. And
Max Duggan.
Max Duggan's gone. So he was the guy that kind of made all that happen in a lot of ways. And some great other players on that team were gone, like you said. So yeah, weapon wise, I would have said I would agree with you, and I agree with you as far as your take. I wasn't ballsy enough to take the money line. So I got to give you credit on that one.
I mean, I was shocked at like I said, I went on
21
multiple
point line is idiotic in that game. But look, TCU was in the national championship last year.
That means nothing for me to go in this year. It means absolutely nothing. That's why, as you can see, it means nothing. But I mean, playing the fucking money line, right? Anyway, that was unbelievable. Patty C. Let me ask you this: Colorado State got their ass whooped by, and I bet on Colorado State today. They got their ass whooped by Washington State. Shout out to the Cougs. All right.
Yeah.
I want Oregon State and Washington State. I want Oregon State to go 12-0. I want the Cougs to go 11-1. Right. But the next 2 games for Colorado are Nebraska and Colorado State. Kind of like Colorado's chances. They're both in Boulder.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, I think Matt Rule will try to exploit the weak run defense of Colorado and the weak defensive line.
Yeah.
But at the same time, couldn't you just say for Colorado, load the fucking box and make Jeff Sims beat you?
Yeah.
Jeff Sims did not look good on Thursday.
I would like to go look back at Jeff Sims's game logs over the course of time. I imagine that he's never really torched anyone with his arm too badly.
It looked like he regressed to me though. Now, first game in a new system, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because I remember him being a big recruit and at times he flashed.
Yeah, he's definitely an athlete. Look, well, Vegas agrees with you because what the spread was before the game,
like 10 or something.
Nebraska
right?
favored by 8 or 10, and now Colorado is favored by 2.
Yeah,
is that what it is?
Yeah. Look, shout out to Jefferson E. White who got that parlay. Like I said, that parlay. Just say today's like today's the greatest fucking day ever, maybe. Folks, before we talk about the rest of the games, I want to tell you that the college football experience is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Can you believe we've had 7 months without an NFL game? It's crazy, right? Well, good thing that that's over because the NFL is here and DraftKings Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the National Football League. And it's giving you a can't miss offer that you really need to take up for week 1. This week, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets instantly. We bet just $5 on any NFL game. DraftKings is hooking everyone up with game day greatness. All customers can take advantage of 2 new offers every single game this September. Every single game day this September. Check the app to see what you get, but there's a lot of gifts out there. Shout out to Noah behind the scenes doing the Lord's work. So download now and use the promo code. Download the DraftKings app now. Use that promo code SGP to sign up. New customers can take home $200 in bonus bets instantly just for betting $5. Promo code SGP only on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. And state specific responsible gambling resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. We're also brought to you by Game Time. Yes, buying tickets to your favorite event shouldn't be that stressful. And look, Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all things sports, music, comedy, and theater that are near you. And with killer deals on last minute tickets, their best price ever guarantee, you can stop stressing over the tickets and start thinking about all the fun you will be having at that very event. Forget planning months in advance. Game Time has deals on tickets right up to the day of the event. And look, they have the Game Time guarantee, which is fantastic. All right. It means you'll always get the best price. And look, if you find tickets in the same section and row for less, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. So folks, get over there. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the promo code SGPN for use the promo code CFBX for $20 off. It's for us. Terms apply. Once again, create an account. CFBX is that promo code for $20 off. Download the Game Time app. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. All right, we are back on the college football experience. Patty C, any other things you want to talk about? Shout out to Kenneth, like the chat. Like I said, look, you guys should give us some 5-star reviews on iTunes. All right, because I really feel like if you listen to my fucking parlay that I gave out on multiple shows, all I'm asking for is a fucking 5-star review on iTunes. Say something in there. Don't just do the 5-star. You got to say, hey, this show's fucking great. Colby's an idiot, but the show's fucking great. Whatever you want to say. Right. Patty, anything else you want to talk about Deion? Were you impressed by, Well,
I like the confidence. The confidence seems like it's coming out all the way, so if you're not ready for the Deion experience, get ready. And look, if they're as good as they are, maybe we can take a quick peek at the upcoming games. You already mentioned Nebraska, Colorado State.
Do
both
you
at home.
think they could be what are the odds they're 3-0?
I would say I would give them 60% to 70% odds that they're 3-0 right now. Nebraska looked good. They had the lead most of the game against what has been a pretty good Minnesota team over the past few years. Probably not as good as they were, obviously, offensively, but maybe Nebraska's defense is just that good. Offensively, a lot to be desired for Nebraska at this point.
Yeah. And they're on the road. So, I mean, I would favor Colorado.
You think they'll be 3-0?
I mean, if they can stay healthy, like I said, one of the biggest X factors for me is depth, because I don't think Colorado has depth. Right.
Yeah.
So that is a big thing. Like if they get a little dinged up, they could lose to anybody.
Got to keep Shedeur upright. I mean, here's the counterpoint to, if you're Colorado, don't you just load the box against?
That's what I'm saying.
Against Nebraska. Well, the counterpoint is, if you're Nebraska, don't you just drop 9 against Colorado and make them beat you up the middle, especially if you actually do have a stout defense.
But I actually think that I think the weakness of Nebraska is the defense.
I guess you wouldn't drop 9, drop 8, probably most. But
the weakness of Nebraska coming into the season is the defensive line. Now they played all right against Minnesota, but it's gonna be fascinating. Let's go.
Wait, after that, it gets tough though. At Oregon, then hosting USC.
At Oregon will be a loss. The USC game I find fucking super intriguing.
In Boulder, that's fun
because both offense I think will fly.
Yeah. Then there's some winnable games. At Arizona State, home against Stanford, and then at UCLA.
Right now, UCLA is up 14-13? No, 21 now. They were up by 1. Now they're up by 8 against Coastal Carolina, 21-13, but they're still so one possession game.
Could be a very
11
good
minutes
year.
left in the fourth.
But the number for Colorado is 3 flat for the season win total. Or is it 3.5?
I think it's 3.5 actually.
Either way, they're looking pretty good on that.
Buddy. Okay. By the way, the other scores going on right now: Arizona up big on Northern Arizona, 38-3 in the fourth. San Diego State taking care of Idaho State, 29-13. BYU. 14-0 over Sam Houston State, but man, Sam Houston State with a interception in the end zone, and then I thought a bogus interception where I thought BYU was out of bounds. But Sam Houston came to play, man. Yeah, I told you, man, that game was dangerous. Sam Houston's going to be a good team this year, man.
That is some insight there. Those 20, I mean, a 5-4 FCS record last year is a cause for concern, but if they were redshirted
20 guys, man,
then maybe they are ready to take a step
We got
forward.
A lot to talk about, man, because I believe the transfer portal is making a big difference, because I don't believe we would see this as often back in the day. Now, maybe I'm full of shit, but I don't think so.
Need to pull up some numbers on that.
My point is, even with Colorado beating TCU, the reigning team that played in the national championship,
you don't see that very often.
That's what I'm saying. The portal.
What was Colorado's record last year?
1-11.
A 1-11 team from the year before beating a 14-2 team.
I'd be curious. I'd be curious if that's ever happened in the history of college football. Probably back in like the 1920s or the 1890s or some shit like that. But I'd be curious to check out that nugget. Let's talk about some of the other games though, because I'm fascinated by today's results. East Carolina, my Pirates. Still covered.
Pretty jubilant about that cover, I gotta say.
Dude, fuck Michigan. All right. The guy's 3 yards past the line of scrimmage, throws a touchdown. All right. You got McCarthy wearing a t-shirt, free Harbaugh. This is a self-imposed ban, you fucking idiot. All right. And then, they throw out our linebacker, right? For McCarthy stays in the field. He scrambles to run out of bounds and he stays, doesn't run out of bounds. And our linebacker tattoos the fucking guy. It was absolutely fantastic. Look, we lost. All right. But we're also not cheating, buying people fucking hamburgers and shit. All right.
Look at this guy.
So bring it on, you little private school pussies or wannabe private school pussies. All right. So, fuck you, Michigan.
What was that? 20.
I thought the flags, man. Look, Michigan would have won the game no matter what. Right. But goddamn, they kept throwing the 15-yard penalty thing, man. That's some bullshit.
27-point loss. It was a 36-point spread. That was wild. Although there's a minute there that I was sweating, but
no, I wasn't sweating.
Look, Michigan
they tried, even late in the game, Michigan was trying to go for a 4th and 1. That ECU defense shutting those little bitches down. And we're not cheating. We're not watching Zooms. We don't even have Zoom at ECU. We just have fucking alcohol. All right.
Blake Corum held to 73 rushing yards. Bye-bye Heisman. I guess there's still plenty of time to get that going, but not exactly what you'd like to see. No, 7.3 yards per rush. Maybe they're just trying to make sure he doesn't retweak that knee.
I was getting chippy with the Michigan fans on social media. They were saying there's a place in the game that hit on McCarthy. I was like, well, tell him not to fucking stay in bounds. Then you stay in bounds, you deserve to get hit like that. I don't even think it should be a fucking flag.
all due respect to Noah. I even enjoy the Michigan Wolverines myself, but they are classic bitch fans.
They're like a better version of UVA. Like UVA, they remind me of UVA. Fans.
They're all the same.
Yeah,
public Ivies. You know, they should think their shit don't stink. JJ McCarthy, however, 26 of 30, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. That's the kind of numbers you're looking for and efficiency you're looking for out of a quarterback that you think might make a championship run.
Yeah. Look, ECU covered because that's what we do. It's what we fucking do. We cover. Even when we're going to lose, you know, when people have came and raided our roster, you know, Oregon, right, TCU, Auburn, I can go on.
Good teams win. Great
Houston,
teams cover.
Yeah.
You didn't win. You covered. You're a great team.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Go on the road. And notice how Michigan didn't want to do a home and home. Come on, Jim. Jim didn't even want to coach the game. Said, I can't handle ECU. Come to fucking Greenville, you little pussies. All right. Let's go. I dare you to come to Greenville. Yeah. You guys haven't played a fucking road game. Like you're canceling UCLA. All right.
Speaking of road games, we didn't get to touch on Thursday's Florida trip to Utah, which was what, their second out of state non-conference game in the last 34 years. Yeah.
They lost both those, by the way. They lost to Kirby Dardar in Syracuse.
Yeah. Maybe stay in Florida.
You know, it happens. It happens. Once again, we have a big theory on this that I feel like is pretty accurate. Normally when you hit the road in college sports, you fucking lose. It's so obvious. It's so obvious.
Especially when you hit the Rocky Mountains.
All right, Bowling Green loses to Liberty. Liberty got up 21-0. Bowling Green came battling back. Man, I mean, shout out to Jamie Chadwell, 34-24, got his first dub. Ohio won ugly against Long Island. We did give away the Long Island fucking Sharks. All right, plus I think it was 26, whatever it was. We hit on that, even though I didn't bet that. But Iowa only scored 24 points. Patty C.
Kirk Ferentz, or Brian Ferentz, I should say, on the hot seat.
Only 24 points. I think this whole rule is ridiculous, in my opinion. Like, you win the games. Who gives a fuck how many points you score? But it's 2023.
Some programs, Kobe, want to take the next step,
and some programs fire Skip Holtz and then get their fucking ass whooped every game last year.
Touché.
And guess what? And they played SMU today and they were down 31-0.
Yeah.
Now they dressed it up a little bit, 38-14 final. How you doing, SMU fans? You miss Skip Holtz a little bit?
How does Iowa not see Nebraska right next to them and say, this is what happens when we go away from our identity?
Yeah, Iowa with a dominating 24-14 win was fucking beautiful. Yes. Ball State, Kentucky. So Kentucky's defense, I watched this game. Kentucky's defense looked very good. Kentucky's offense, I know it's game one, not buying in yet. This game was actually a little closer than the score indicates, like in the first half. Kentucky pulled away late, but they had like a defensive touchdown. They had like a force. Their defense kicked ass late in that game, or the whole game, really.
Devin Leary, decent, 18 of 31, 241, touchdown, interception. Not an amazing stat line.
I'm telling you, the offense didn't look super great, but then again, it's the classic Ball State game that it seems like Kentucky or Tennessee will play every year.
Well, a lot of teams are playing shitty teams week one, and Kentucky did handle their business, so I'll give them credit. No. And
they did.
Speaking of having the same
defense looked really good
identity as Iowa, if you're going to give Iowa credit for having that identity, maybe give Kentucky a little bit of credit.
I'm just saying they made a big hype about Devin Leary. That was my shot. Okay. It wasn't about Kentucky. I've been for 3 years saying that Devin Leary's the most overrated quarterback in football. Everyone wants to crown him. I can't go through a goddamn college football podcast where someone says, Devin Leary's the best quarterback ever played. He's fucking Broadway Joe 2.0.
And not just particularly sensitive because you're an ECU fan and NC State's your arch rival.
No, I really look, I have nothing against Devin Leary. I think he's a decent college quarterback.
Yes, you do.
No, I really believe.
You have hated NC State and Devin Leary.
But, I mean, I like Brandon Armstrong right now. He's at NC State, right?
Okay, but you liked him before.
My point though is that he's never like popped off screen to me as someone that is like, oh,
he doesn't deserve the hype.
Devin Leary, you know what I mean? Like, but hey, the world loves him.
Yeah. The irony is that he's following Will Levis, who kind of got all that hype before the draft last year and probably didn't deserve it either.
Yeah. Tennessee 49, Virginia 13. Patty C. I almost nailed this score perfectly. I believe on the morning show this morning, I said 52-13. Damn it. Missed the field goal. But how you feeling about your Virginia over 3.5 wins right now?
Look, I actually don't feel that bad. You might laugh, but I thought defensively they were pretty damn stout for a lot of that game. They got tired. And look, the no huddle that Tennessee does is a problem, and it's going to be a problem for anyone. It was especially a problem for Virginia. What Tennessee's no huddle does is they don't even let you substitute because the offense is kind of in control of this substitutions, right? If they don't sub, then you don't get to sub.
Well, Tennessee's defense not known to be a juggernaut.
Virginia's offense sucks, and it's going to suck even worse without Musket. I'm very worried about that. But look, JMU took a little time to pull away from Bucknell today. I'm a little concerned about that next week. I'm going to take JMU, but and Maryland look good. I'm a little concerned about getting the 3.5. Yes.
Yeah. 5 and 19, third and fourth down, and not the greatest.
Their offense was so bad, but their defense was pretty good.
They did have a total of 201 yards. It's pretty fucking
good.
bad. Man.
Yeah, that's bad.
Tennessee looks. I mean, Milton threw a fucking dime that was dropped. This game would have been way worse.
Milton
Did you see
airmailed a lot of shit.
No, but
too.
he hit a dude that was so fucking wide open. I don't remember which receiver it was, but hit him right in the fucking hands. He dropped it.
Oh, I'm sure.
This thing would have been 56-13.
I mean, if there were any number of other passes that he missed that could have made this game way worse. UVA has no offense. It's going to be a long season. The defense might keep. I mean, again, I would have to peek back at that schedule, but there's enough trash in the ACC that they might be able to find a win here and there.
Look, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
I feel like we could do a 10-hour episode right now.
Look, yeah, if Northern Illinois can beat Boston College, UVA can beat Boston College. I'll say that. Having seen what UVA did today, they can beat Boston College.
Sure. I think anyone can beat Boston College. Whoa, though. Shout out to what are we gonna call? We need a nickname for this conference. Johnny Football saying, "What is the best place to bet FCS games?" There's a few. I'd rather not mention because we have a sponsor. But DM me on at the Colby D on Twitter.
X.
Yeah, whatever.
What have you?
But look, SMU beat the shit out of Louisiana Tech today. They were up 31-0. It was 38-14, but no one was at that fucking game. They just had like this gigantic party yesterday about them going to the ACC.
That's pathetic.
No one goes to the fucking football game. And I thought for a second, I was like, wait, maybe it's just super fucking hot, even though that's no real excuse.
Right.
Then I realized, wait, everyone's at a TCU game, which is like 15 minutes away.
Well, yeah, that makes sense, but still
at the same fucking time. No. I'm saying the fact that the Heat can't be the fucking Heat.
Right,
when I see a packed place in Fort Worth and no one at the SMU
there's
game.
enough people in the Dallas Fort Worth area that you can pack both of those stadiums if it actually means something to you. It clearly didn't mean anything to. They're literally just the rich kid that's buying their way in.
No, this is what's great. This is what I love. Is Cal the strongest fan base that they're adding?
I mean,
because we know Stanford fans don't show up. Cal, they kind of do.
Cal doesn't show up.
I mean, they show up better than Stanford.
Maybe. I guess.
No, not maybe. Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take your word on that.
Take my word on that.
Okay.
Right. And my point is now you have. So I watched the Miami game on Friday night. No one was at that fucking game. I saw the BC game today. No one was at that fucking game. We know Syracuse, depending on if they're good or not. Sometimes they show up, sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
Pitt, because they don't play on campus, they play at that NFL stadium, so they never really pack that house unless it's a backyard brawl.
Yeah.
Virginia never really sells out their stadium. Duke, Wake Forest have had issues in the past. I feel like they're kind of getting their fans involved now.
Georgia Tech.
This football conference
couldn't put seats in.
It's like they wanted to seek out teams. Like, what fan bases are not interested in football?
They were going with their culture. You know,
I love it. They're like, wait, do you have it's like, wait, Oregon State, Washington State? No. They don't have half empty stands.
Right.
They don't have half empty stands. Right? We can't
have them.
Right?
Who are the teams?
Memphis?
Who does pack their stadium there? NC State kind of packs their stadium.
NC State packs it. Virginia Tech, Clemson, Florida
so that's
State.
3,
And
4,
Florida State's even a little
4.
fickle because they're reading novels and shit.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking, but no, Florida State normally packs a good crowd. That's 4. North Carolina's a little wine and cheese too. It's a little UCLA. I would say they're like a better version of UCLA.
Yeah.
But as far as fan base,
Yeah.
but
Louisville kind of comes out a little.
no,
bit.
Louisville does.
Yeah.
Louisville's good. They're in the in crowd.
Yeah.
But isn't this conference fucking hilarious? Anyway,
The half full stadium conference.
let's talk about.
We got to make an acronym ACC that somehow describes their lack of conference. Creative people out there, get on that.
Let's talk about Maction because Northern Illinois was taking on Boston College.
Yeah.
And me and Terrell Furman did give away Northern Illinois money line today. Like I said, today was kind of a magical fucking day, folks. Like I didn't throw all my eggs in one basket. I diversify on these wagers over here, and god damn it, today was fucking magical. It reminds me of the college basketball one when I won I hit like the first 14 or something. So, anyway,
Tout it.
let's talk about Boston College because I'm assuming they play Holy Cross. I don't know if you guys don't follow FCS football. Maybe not every listener. I did have some fucking idiot saying I should stop posting the FCS clips. That's not going to happen, right? And look, I don't want to call you an idiot. You like listening to the podcast, but come on, we're football guys. We're going to be posting the fucking FCS. All right.
Hey,
And D2 and D3, if it's all out there, we love football. All right.
yeah, that is a huge part of what football is. Like, we're not just gonna post the TMZ shit.
Yeah.
We're gonna post the whole
If
thing.
anything, that like really bothers me. It's like I almost want to be like, don't listen to us then, dude. You know, I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? But Boston College plays Holy Cross next. Holy Cross had an undefeated regular season a year ago. And they put the biggest scare in the team that won the national championship in the playoffs, right? I know that the final score was a little deceiving, but it was like a 7-point game going into the fourth quarter, and no one else the entire playoffs fucked with South Dakota State except for Holy Cross. They have a quarterback named Matthew Saluka. Patty C, I think Holy Cross is better than Boston College right now, and because I think Holy Cross is better than Northern Illinois right now.
Well, like you said, Merrimack, a pretty good team last year, right? At the FCS level, Holy Cross 42-20.
Dude, they are a very good football team.
Yeah.
The starting wide receiver for Wyoming tonight is a transfer from Holy Cross. He comes into Wyoming, who was a 7-win team last year. He's fucking starting. All right. Just to show you, just to fucking show you.
Oh, they got players. Who's their coach? Holy Cross coach. I
always get his name confused. It's Bob Chesney. Sounds like a fucking country. Bob Chesney singing the hits.
Yeah, you got it right.
They're
Bob
going to
Chestnut,
lose, dude.
46 years old. Look, and that's a guy that's taken Catholic school after Catholic school, from the basement to the top. Boston College has to be taking a look at him right across town. And where is that?
No, it's in Boston.
Worcester, or however you pronounce
Worcester
sauce, wherever Holy Cross is located. Within Boston.
Worcester.
Okay, Worcester. Yeah. So yes, he's got to be one person they're looking at. So that game is what, next week?
They're gonna lose next week.
If Holy Cross,
what would you set that line at? I actually think like Holy Cross might win by like double digits.
And maybe push, maybe set it at Holy Cross -1.
Get ready to play another money line dog because I don't think the market's gonna know that Holy Cross is actually awesome. And and they're gonna say, hey, Boston College -10, and we're gonna play the money line on Holy Cross. So they're currently on a 17-game win streak, by the way, in the regular season.
Holy Cross only scored less than 30 twice last year. One was to eventual national championship, South Dakota State on the road, and the other one they won the game.
And apparently it's called Worcester.
Okay, this offense goes
in Boston.
Yeah,
right.
Fucking yeah. They speak like some old English shit. They got some like shit from like 1500. That's what their language is based off.
What's that? Racism?
Yeah, that too. Yeah,
that language.
That's what their culture is based
joking.
off of. Yeah.
I'm joking. We love Boston. I did Boston radio at 5 a.m. this morning. All right, I'm getting carried away. But anyway, Northern Illinois does play Nebraska in 2 weeks. Watch out because Rocky Lombardi. I mean, Rocky Lombardi. We got to watch out for Rocky Lombardi. I want to talk about a game that we highlighted. I think me and you did the Fresno State preview. And Fresno State, I was on the money line with Fresno State, and I did bet this one too.
Oh, That was a clutch fucking win right there.
Dude, I said this is the game to circle. Pull up Fresno State's schedule, man. And I don't want to just crown them now. You can obviously lose, but I thought they looked pretty damn sharp offensively. Got to fix the defense a little bit, but I also think Hudson Card's a pretty damn good quarterback.
Oh yeah, defending Big Ten West champs. They go in there into West Lafayette, get the W at the last minute. Upcoming games,
dude. I remember doing the preview and I said, if they can get that win, watch out. We might now. This is a ridiculous overreaction show, so yeah. I want to preface it with saying that, but
not really.
That was the hardest game on their schedule, in my opinion, and they just got it done.
I think seeing the rest of the results from today, that looks to be the case. Eastern Washington kind of got handled by North Dakota State
today. Yeah,
Arizona State squeaked by.
No, Fresno's going to beat Arizona State at Tempe. I feel very good about that.
Yeah, Kent State, right? Nevada, both at home.
Yes. This is October 7th is the sneaky one
at Wyoming.
Yeah. And you never know. Utah State could get them too because they're at back-to-back away at Wyoming and at Utah State. Then there's a bye.
Utah State held up pretty well against.
Yeah. I was impressed with Utah State
against Iowa.
Yeah. They missed some field goals, had some opportunities, but
and a Friday nighter.
Those two games, and then you get a bye week. You're home to UNLV, who did beat the shit out of Bryant today. I thought Bryant would cover that, but not
means nothing.
Yeah,
means nothing.
But then you have Boise, but Boise's actually coming to Fresno for like the first time in 5 years. I feel like
you got to favor Fresno there.
Yeah, and then you're at San Jose State. That could be a little tricky, but I mean, I'm just
Boise
saying,
got
like
their shit pushed in by Washington. Well, granted, Washington pretty damn good.
Washington's offense looks pretty fire, but
San Jose State on the road could be dangerous.
My point is, I still think they just won their hardest game.
Very, very possible here for Fresno
because I think their offense is only going to click. They're starting Mikey Keene, a transfer, who looked phenomenal today. He threw for what? I mean, Purdue could not look. Ryan Walters, my guy, former Colorado Buffalo.
Keene 366 yards.
Oh man, I mean, they were just slicing and dicing. They also missed like a chip shot field goal. It shouldn't have been. The only thing is like their defense was giving up. Purdue had a big kick return for a touchdown, but Fresno State was the better team today. Make no mistake.
Oh, if anything, Purdue should be encouraged by today's results. You know, Hudson Card played pretty well, and
but still they had like a kick return for a touchdown.
They haven't dropped off. I would think Purdue would be really scared that they're going to take a huge step back, you know, but they look pretty good against what was a pretty good Fresno team. But yes, Fresno did look the part today.
Fresno we should be on watch if you're looking for the New Year's 6, or the whatever potential undefeated season potentially.
Yeah,
I don't know. You throw them out there if you're gonna overreact and say crazy shit. Okay, Arkansas waxed Western Carolina. We don't need to talk about that. Air Force waxed Robert Morris. Robert Morris didn't even have their own fucking uniforms. They had to use Air Force's uniforms. Ole Miss. Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin.
A fucking asshole. I predicted this beforehand.
What Oregon did to Portland State and what Ole Miss did to Mercer. Just not calling off the dogs, huh? Just going.
Yeah. Quinshot Judkins didn't have a very good fantasy day for me.
He was probably benched after the first
60
quarter.
rushing yards. Meanwhile, fucking Jackson Dart 4 touchdown, 73-7. What are you gonna do? But they I guess they kind of called off the dogs. Only 7 points in the fourth quarter, but 28 in the third. They whooped their ass.
Yeah,
they're good. I
did have an Akron money line ticket. And that did not hit, even though they were up like 80% of the fucking game.
Can we talk about the SEC's competition today? Who they?
Well, what was worse? Them playing, Mercer was actually not a bad FCS. Well, they're not supposed to be. They're supposed to be a good FCS this year, but they look like shit against North Alabama week 0. Yeah. And then what's worse, that or playing UVA? if Mercer plays UVA, who are you taking?
It's fucked up. Get away from
Who is the best team? Actually, you know what? It's South Carolina. Besides South Carolina today, not including the Florida game on
Florida challenge,
not including LSU tomorrow. I'm talking about college football Saturday.
Well, Thursday, Missouri plays South Dakota, so that's an FCS. Georgia played UT Martin, that's an FCS. Alabama
UT Martin showed up today.
They did. That was 17-0 at half. That's kind of bad showing by Georgia, but Alabama, Middle Tennessee, Group of 5. Tennessee actually played a Power 5. South Carolina actually played a Power 5, but Ole Miss played Mercer, Texas A&M, New Mexico, Kentucky, Ball State, Arkansas, Western Carolina. Auburn, Massachusetts, Mississippi
Is Ball
State.
State the best team they played today besides South Carolina playing? Like, who's better, UMass or Ball State? I kind of think Ball State's better.
It's a coin toss. Who else? Southeast Louisiana and Alabama A&M. Why? This is like why make week 1 a bye week?
Hey, no,
I know
I'd
why.
rather them do this now though than in November.
Well, they're going to do it then too.
10th or whatever,
look,
17th.
Against Power 5 competition. 1 and 2 this weekend for the SEC, and Tennessee whooping a ass Virginia squad. Meanwhile, North Carolina kind of putting it on South Carolina, and obviously Utah putting it on Florida.
But don't worry, LSU will handle Florida State tomorrow.
Tomorrow, that's a big one for the SEC.
I'm loading up a wager. LSU -2. Let's go.
He's wrong. Don't let us know. Florida State's going to win that game.
He said I'm wrong.
Well, you were wrong last year when you said that.
This guy that took Colorado plus 20,
2 years in a row.
Plus 775 today, and did you take Wyoming money line? You didn't even have the courage to go there with that. Well, we'll talk about.
Well,
that.
you know what I did take.
Yeah.
Let's get to another game that was in the Big 12. Your favorite Big 12, and let's just talk about how
the Big 12. Hey, shout out to the good folks that are hosting the Big 12 experience, because rough day. Rough. At least BYU seems to be. Did they close it out? They're up 14-0 still.
You know what? And that makes me feel even better about my preseason prediction for your very own Cincinnati Bearcats to win the Big 12.
Hang on. Let me get us paid, and then we'll talk Big 12. Folks, want to tell you that the college football experience Underdog is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Look, Underdog Fantasy has a way to play alongside your favorite football team all season long. With their fantasy pick'em game, you can pick between 2 to 5 players, select whether they'll go higher or lower on one of their stat projections. You know, it's absolutely fantastic. Then do what they usually spend your Sundays doing by watching all the games, baby. All right, you can win up to 20 times the amount of money in a single game by going 5 for 5. Essentially, it's a fantasy game, but you can win real money. So check it out, watch along. Make all those picks, and maybe make a little extra cash over at Underdog's mobile app or website, underdogfantasy.com. When you sign up with the promo code SGPN, Underdog will double your first deposit up to $100. Once again, that's Underdog Fantasy, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Sports Gambling Podcast Patreon. Make sure you check out the Patreon. Sign up for the exclusive access to our exclusive contest for the NFL Win Totals contest, $1,000 first place prize, plus weekly Patreon pick'em. The Patreon's a great way to support the network and fight back against corporate gambling. I don't think corporate gambling was giving you out some fucking red hot plays. SportsGamblingPodcast.com/Patreon. That's SportsGamblingPodcast.com/Patreon. Let's talk a little bit about the Big 12, Patty C.
Yes,
because look, I love the new Big 12. I think it's gonna be fascinating, right? I think it's gonna be a lot of fun, especially next year when all the other teams add in there too. Even though it's 300 fucking teams, right?
The current Big 12 took a black guy against the current Pac-12, even though a year from now Colorado will be Big 12.
Yeah, so TCU loses to Colorado.
Yeah,
I thought the new schools have been actually showing up kind of well. Cincy looked great.
Thank you.
BYU just shut out Sam Houston State, even though they only scored 14 points on Sam Houston. But I think Sam Houston's actually going to be pretty good.
It's not that impressive.
UCF scored like 1,000 points on Kent State, and Houston kind of I know you can see the Houston Utah. I was on Houston. I actually placed a wager on Houston. They dictated that game in a way. I feel like they never were
newcomers
down.
outside of BYU.
The newcomers held their own.
Probably had the most impressive weekend.
Except Oklahoma.
Oklahoma
Butch Jones, get him out. Go.
Yeah.
Just go.
He's got to go. But you had to figure what Brent Venables was stepping into last year with everyone leaving, including like 2 Heisman caliber quarterbacks potentially, or supposedly Heisman caliber quarterbacks, was going to be tough. And year 2 is going to be a lot better. And so far it looks that way.
Well, but hold on. I do it. Yes. I can't say anything bad about Oklahoma right now, but I will say this. The team that I had rated worse out of my 133 teams was the Kent State Golden Flashes. You know who I had number 2 as the second worst team? Arkansas State. I think, and honestly, like I kind of thought they quit today, man. Like, see what
if you were down 45-0 and a half, you would quit.
See what Western Carolina did against Arkansas, or even Mercer fucking scored against Ole Miss. Like that was embarrassing, man. You can't score against Oklahoma. Come on.
They looked good.
They
Who
did.
knows? Who knows? It's way too early to see.
I'm
But
just saying.
Oklahoma has always had insane athletes. They've been the class of the Big 12 for the last 2 decades. You know,
No, not the past like 4 years.
Oklahoma.
Dude, they haven't played in the championship game in what, 3 years?
Have they not?
No.
I'd have to go look back at that. I feel like
Baylor beat Oklahoma State 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Last year was K-State TCU.
okay, so that was 2 years.
3 years ago was
I feel like Oklahoma beat Baylor maybe
in
3
overtime,
years ago.
right?
So
I think it was
3
yeah,
years ago.
Okay.
Okay, so the last 2 years,
Yeah.
Oklahoma hasn't been as good. You know, but prior to that, they've been kicking everyone's ass. I think they won like 6 straight Big 12 championships or something. They're
So,
still a
all
badass, super talented program, and now they got the quarterback and the offense figured out. It seems like Dylan Gabriel, 308 yards, 2 touchdowns, 73 fucking points. They got the offense.
I got to see it next week against SMU.
Yes, we will.
Because
Learn
I
more.
really believe Arkansas State's like a middle of the road FCS team.
Yeah, they suck. They're
Yeah.
terrible.
Okay, but the Big 12 with TCU losing, and shout out to Iowa State. I thought Northern Iowa's supposed to be really good in the FCS this year.
Yeah,
Iowa State with all those guys out, fucking dominated them. I'll give Matt Campbell a game ball in that capacity.
you gotta give
Yeah.
Matt Campbell some love.
But
We knew he would have his backups ready. He's a great coach and, you know, a great, you know, game planner and preparer of men.
Texas Tech loses at Wyoming, and folks, this was the easiest fucking play. And Wyoming almost fucked this up. They got down 17-0 because DQ, their running back, had 2 fumbles in the first I feel like 3 or 4 possessions.
Yep.
And lo and behold, Texas Tech's up 17-0. Winning in Laramie. Now we can add Texas Tech to that list. But Missouri before that, UCLA before that, Virginia before that. And I want to say A&M back in like the fuck. It's been like doesn't even matter the coach.
At least the last 4. They showed that, but maybe the last 5 Power 5 schools that have
I feel like
traveled to Laramie.
It's always been a really tough place to win, and Wyoming is better than people think. And I think this year that's a sleeper to win the Mountain West this year, man. I know we're talking Fresno and Boise. I feel like everyone's talking Fresno or Boise. Watch out for Wyoming.
love
That
it.
defense is really good, and I feel like Peasley is the best throwing quarterback they've had since Josh Allen. So
Well, let me say this: if Wyoming were to become a dominant program, you know, obviously have a dominant year is step 1. If they were to be able to become a dominant program, they're so fucking cool that they could become a Rocky Mountain glamour program.
I love them. I love Wyoming.
You
I'm going
gotta
to a
love
game later this year.
They're so
But-
fucking cool.
Folks, I really thought that handicap was pretty fucking easy. If anything, I had to sweat it out a little more than I thought, because of those 2 fumbles. But I really believe
That was a hell of a game. Let's not take anything away from Texas Tech. They played well.
yeah. But I mean, I called for them, and check us out. I'll call for this. Texas Tech will beat Oregon next week. Petty C.
You're wrong.
We'll see. Haven't been wrong much so far this
Well,
college
you will
football
be wrong
season,
next
buddy.
week, probably.
But yes, okay. And then what other Big 12 school love? Baylor. Whoa, Texas State. GJ Kinney, 27.5-point dogs, winning outright at Baylor and kind of whooping their ass the whole fucking game.
Yeah. Baylor.
Now I should say Texas State is really incarnate word from last year because they brought in like it's like what Deion did with Jackson State. I think
Low key, GJ Kenny.
No, I think GJ Kenny brought more players from his old school.
Yeah.
So you're basically playing Incarnate Word, who was a very good team in the FCS a year ago.
explosive offense. Hanging 42 points on Baylor is not easy.
Buddy, I was thinking when I watched Utah beat Florida, and I was like, Baylor's going to beat Utah. After watching Baylor today, I got no idea who's winning that fucking game because Utah's going to hit the road. If they don't have Cam Rising, I think it's very unlikely that they can win on the road. However, Baylor looked pretty shitty today.
If you would have to think Utah's going to win that game next week.
That's the big, I don't know because
Texas State. I'm sorry,
dude, they're on Utah's on their third and fourth string quarterback.
That's true.
That game's fascinating now, but I'll tell you this: that's the biggest win in Texas State history, and all it took was GJ Kinney's first ever game. Watching that game, I was convinced that Texas State is now a player in the Sun Belt race because holy shit, they look good, man.
Well, let me tell you something about the state of Texas. Sometimes it pays to go and get a new coach. Sometimes it doesn't. Maybe I'm jumping over to the next thing, but I'm talking about my number one fucking lock of the week. I'm talking about North Texas, only a 7.5
California Golden Bears dropping
dog.
When's
against
the last
California?
time I bet you Cal hasn't scored 58 since Jeff Tedford.
Probably
And
not.
they did. Yeah, they did today. 58-21. They go down to Denton, Texas, beat the piss out of
Justin Wilcox, probably his best offensive performance as a coach ever.
Definitely. Shout out to the Cal Golden Bears getting the dub there.
Let's not dodge this bullet though. I'm not letting you off the hook here.
What's that?
Let's talk about these Cincinnati Bearcats. Okay. They whooped the living tar out of them.
Hold on.
Noah, I'm calling you out right now because you said Emory Jones was a shitty quarterback. And let me pull up his stats today, but they're pretty fucking good if I'm not mistaken. 10. Wait.
Next week's a big day for us to learn about Cincinnati. They play at Pitt. Patty C, what was more impressive? Cincinnati, what they drop? 66 today?
66. Emory Jones, 19 of 23, 345 yards, 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and 2 rushing touchdowns. He accounted for 7 touchdowns. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck everyone out there that doubts this team is coming. If Deion can say we coming, Cincinnati is also coming on your fucking face all season long. They're going to come on Pittsburgh next week.
No.
Yes, they are.
No. You're getting super cocky for beating fucking Eastern Kentucky,
buddy. Look at he's defensive now.
Yeah, I gave away Eastern Kentucky plus 24
listen
today,
to this guy, right? I got him backpedaling, and I'm going to keep it that way because Cincinnati's coming all season long.
Okay, well, let me tell you something. Syracuse beat Colgate 65-0. So
Syracuse,
that was more dominating than what Cincy did to Eastern Kentucky.
Give Syracuse credit.
Who's better?
Give Syracuse.
Who's better?
Huh?
Syracuse or Cincinnati Syracuse or Cincinnati?
I'd say comparable performances. I think you have to give Syracuse a lot of credit. I'm not going to take it away from them. Right? A dominant performance is a dominant performance.
This guy's
it's certainly what they won by 53. The spread was what? I feel like Nick
23.
Nick earlier in the season was like, I think I'll give that one to Cincy, straight up on the money line. Oh, thanks, Nick. Yeah. I think we got that one done.
Strays.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you can tout all you want. We'll learn next week, and maybe you're right. I wasn't right. Super I just know they're not. To me, they're not contenders.
Well, the thing that scares me now is I kind of figured Oklahoma would be a game that we might be able to win. A lot more scared about that game in Nippert now.
I got to see Oklahoma again. Next week. We'll learn a little.
We'll
bit
see
more.
Yeah.
Georgia's kind of struggled against UT Martin, Patty C, but I don't think that means anything. Do you?
Georgia and UT Martin. It means
you
a
learn
little
anything?
Something. It means you start slow against a team as shitty as UT Martin, then you can't afford to do that later in the season. Fortunately for Georgia, they have the weakest schedule of probably any team in the country, or at least any Power 5 team. So they don't have a challenge till probably Tennessee. You think South Carolina can give them a challenge in a couple of weeks?
I think I'm on the under on South Carolina in 6 wins. So no.
Yeah, that's between the hedges. And yeah, South Carolina didn't look the part today. So
Mississippi State took care of Sela. Yeah, Patty C said, "Hey, he's talking shit about you just saying an FCS team. Look, let's talk about this though. Rice and Texas. Look."
Don't hate now.
I
7 touchdowns. 7.
I loved the over in this game. I ate shit on this bet. I did not think Texas looked very good today.
No.
They win by 27 against Rice. Ewers missed some guys, man.
No.
They're gonna get worked at Alabama.
They're gonna lose a few games this year. They're probably not gonna win the Big 12. They're gonna get slapped by Oklahoma if today is any indication.
I mean, I thought Texas was going to score in the 50s today. That was very shocking to me. Florida Atlantic worked. Monmouth, UNLV worked. Bryant, we talked about that. Mississippi State did too. And Pitt did. Wofford, I don't know. We're not talking about all these fucking games. But I'll say Reese Poffenberger was super fucking close. Super close from knocking off the Marshall Thundering Herd. Sunbelt fans should be a little concerned. App State took to the late fourth quarter to break that open, but Gardner Webb covers. JMU did not cover against Bucknell.
Yeah, it took us a while, but I thought
Sunbelt East looking a little questionable. Right now. Marshall.
JMU figured it out. JMU figured it out in the second half. The first half was slop, but
Marshall beats Albany by 4. Albany was up majority of this game. Reese Poffenberg is a fucking baller. He has like an 80-yard run in this game.
Poffenberg is an athlete.
Yeah, dude. He's good. Dude,
he's like John Rice Plumlee.
He'll be in the FBS. He'll be in the FBS very soon. Yeah. Virginia went and got Tony Muskett. They got the wrong guy from the CAA.
We fucked up.
Georgia Southern blanked the Citadel 34-0.
Impressive.
Biff Poggi, shout out to Biff Poggi, but he didn't cover, and I did bet on this. But I ate shit on this one, and Charlotte wins 24-3, but they get the first win. How about Mike McIntyre and Florida International? They beat Maine 14-12. A win is a win is a win.
That's right. What did they do last week?
They were winning for 58 minutes. Remember?
That's right.
And then they lost to La Tech. USC dropped 66. Hey, I hope you listen to this over. I got a lot of touting to do because I'm telling you, I hit a lot of bets. I said when USC's the total was at 66.5, and it even dropped to 63 on the morning show. And I said, lock that right now. I said USC is going to score 56 or 63. They got 66. And I said, guess what? Nevada will at least get 2 scores. 14 fucking points. Boom. I feel like I'm a fucking genius over here. But Patty C, I also had the over on when I saw that it was 48.5 for Texas A&M. I said Texas A&M's for the game. New Mexico at Texas A&M. I said Texas A&M alone will score more than 48 points. They scored 52, and guess what? New Mexico scored 10. Patty C, that thing,
nice, easy cash,
easy fucking cash.
Caleb Williams, what do you have? 319 yards, 5 touchdowns. He's on pace for Heisman.
I think Nevada is still really bad, but yes, I actually watching Stanford, Hawaii. I think Stanford's offense is going to be able to move against USC's.
Well,
watch out.
Yeah,
watch out. The Washington State Cougars dropped 50 on Colorado State. I did eat shit on this bet. I thought Colorado State was a live dog, and Jay Norvell. But I'm not even mad at this because this is like this. I love Washington State, right?
Yeah,
I love what they're doing. So,
I just enjoy that this is one that you guys are now 2 years into Colorado State, waiting for this thing to come around, and it ain't happening.
Well, I mean, they are playing a Power 5, so they're supposed to lose. It was a double-digit spread for a reason.
They're going to be in the same conference next year, so yikes.
Yeah, but Washington State's also only going to be making $5 million next year. See how that plays out in 5 years.
Yeah, that's true.
Oklahoma State did not look very good. They won 27-13. Hope you listened to our FCS show because we were all over Central Arkansas on the points, but I didn't think it would be that close.
Wait, the Central Arkansas on who? Sorry, I missed that.
Oklahoma State.
Yeah, that was a bad performance.
27-13. K-State blanked Southeast Missouri State. K-State looking very impressive. That we didn't talk about that in the Big 12 part.
I mean, that one was so far under the radar.
But SEMO is like a ranked FCS team.
Okay. 45-0.
Yeah,
that is impressive.
Stephen F. Austin gave Troy a little bit of a scare. Southern Miss took care of business against Alcorn State. Vanderbilt it took them a while, but they got it open against Alabama A&M. Let's talk about another double-digit dog that old pick Dundee hit. This time with NC Nick. ULM never fade a Bowden in a big game. Never fade a Bowden in an opening day because 17-13. I don't even know how the fuck they did this. We were watching on this one. We were watching. I changed. I told you the shotgun army thing. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here.
What did the service academy? I mean, Air Force did all right, but who are they playing?
Yeah, but they're not doing like the permanent shotgun. I think Army is doing like the permanent fucking. They're doing it like a lot more than Navy and Air Force. Apparently, I didn't watch all of that game, but ULM. Shout out! Look, we're on the over. Shout out to that win. Me and NC Nick have already been touting that, but once again, we had a fucking fire day. So yes, Oregon did drop 81 on Portland State today. Disgusting. And
I mean, our Army's run pass balance is still 50-12. So even if they're in the gun, they're still running the ball, but it's not working nearly as well. 176 rushing yards. I feel like they've been averaging over 300 for several years.
I'll watch that game later this week to get a better understanding of who they are because I didn't get a chance to really watch too much of that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn good job by Bowden though.
Memphis, Blake, Bethune-Cookman. We don't need to talk about that. Houston, great win for Houston. I think Holgerson. I tell you, I think Houston can be better than people think. North Carolina, put it on South Carolina. I think South Carolina sucks. I don't think they're going to be very good this year.
Yeah,
and I actually thought North Carolina should have won by more.
Yeah, I mean, the Xavier Leggett, the receiver, 9 catches, 178 yards, pretty damn good game.
Is this like is North Carolina for real, or is this just a one-time thing, or is South Carolina bad? Like a lot of people are very high on North Carolina.
I have a very hard time ever believing in North Carolina, only because it's been since the 90s since they've, proven to be a team that is a legitimate threat. You know?
Alabama covered. We did take Bama 56-7.
Took a while, but they got it going eventually.
We don't need to talk about that game. Toledo should have beat Illinois. They had Illinois stopped at a 4th and 5. Illinois, and I lost money on this game. I had Illinois -9 or whatever, 10.
Yeah.
And
Bielema squeaking it out,
buddy. As someone that's coming into the season high on Illinois, now I am high on Toledo. I have a few questions about. I was not as impressed as I thought I would be. A win is a win, and my win total. I do have a wager on Illinois on the over. So,
well, I said this. I said they were going to miss Brown, right?
Yeah.
Let me take a look here. Their highest rusher was their quarterback, Luke Altmaier, with 69 rushing yards. So I think maybe they are missing Brown. That running game was the staple of that offense last year. Today they outpassed 211 passing yards, 163 rushing yards. They got to get the running back situation figured out, or else that team is not going to be able to rely on the identity that it was built on last year.
Yeah. Texas Tech at Wyoming. Wyoming looking good. We talked about that already. Let's talk about West Virginia, Penn State, because fuck you, Penn State. Fuck you. Running it up. I had money on West Virginia.
This was fucking great.
And you don't need to score with under 10 seconds left. You don't need to score. Now I understand it's an old rival. Nothing like a good fuck you.
They haven't played
but
in
damn
30
it, not
years.
when I got money on the game. I was already dancing and cashing. They're going to kneel the ball. No. West Virginia. Neil Brown drove me crazy on this. Several opportunities to kick a field goal in the first half or say punt. And you end up giving Penn State the ball back because you were so aggressive. Now I like being aggressive, but damn it, you were too aggressive in my opinion. And also West Virginia's passing game. Very fucking.
It's a low class move to score with less than 10 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
When you are up by what,
yeah.
like 20 something?
Yeah.
Just kneel the ball.
Yeah.
They wanted the cover. James Franklin's got action on had action on that game.
Did Penn State live up to the hype that like the people were talking about? Because I would say like
James Franklin's worried about job security a little bit. That's why he did that. He wants the fans to love him. He wants to not only win the games but win. But
do you think
money.
Penn State lived up to the hype?
About. I mean, Aller had a couple lasers that were impressive. I expected West Virginia to be a little bit better. Game was more or less what I thought it would be. So,
I know we got to hurry up here. I'm gonna just hit you. Rich Rod destroys East Tennessee State. Shout out to Rich Rod.
Boom.
Western Kentucky battles back from down double digits to Alex Galesh. Your boy gets it done.
It's gonna take a while.
UMass turns out maybe back to playing UMass ball as Auburn just fucking beats the piss out of them. Wisconsin. It took Wisconsin a while. I'm going to make this prediction, Patty C. Washington State's going to beat Wisconsin next week.
I think that's a fair.
Washington
fair
State's going to beat Wisconsin next week.
I think I'll ride with you.
How about this one that I lost money on? Ohio State 23, Indiana 3.
No one could predict that Ohio State would have a quarterback wearing number 33.
When's the last time Ohio State only scored 23 against Indiana? You got to go back to like Joe Germain days, I bet.
Ohio State doing Ohio State things and laying first half clunkers. That's what they do.
But I'm telling you, Wisconsin did not look as good as I thought they would look for everyone, for all that chatter. Now I did take Buffalo plus 28 because, you're rolling with pick Dundee here. So,
it's look, personnel may be an issue for Wisconsin. If they're really trying to throw the ball around, all their dudes are still hulking beasts. You look at them on the field, they're all just these jacked up dudes.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not like, air raid personnel just yet.
Washington 56, Boise State 19. Holy shit. Boise State, I have a problem with their game plan. We know Washington's offense is just insane. Yeah. Me and Patty C were watching the game that I go, is it me or is every pass 57 yards? Yeah. It's like every single throw, even on the incomplete passes, it's like a guy is open and it's just, maybe he drops it or the timing is off.
It's so well designed.
Yes. Yeah. Kalen DeBauer's a fucking genius, but Boise, my thoughts on me, and no, I didn't bet this, but for picking the games, I said, hey, I think Boise can slow down the game. They got to run Taylor Green, maybe do some option read stuff. They didn't listen. They didn't even make. I mean, I'm not expecting them to listen to me, but I'm just saying I thought that would be the smartest approach,
right,
on how to contain them, limit the possessions. Now, they wanted to go all in and just say, hey, and wow,
yeah, punch for punch here, not gonna work.
The Washington might have looked the best out of any team.
It's
today.
the same thing with the UVA game against Tennessee. It's like you don't play to their pace because it puts them not only are they better at it, but it puts them in rhythm.
Yeah.
You got to take them out of rhythm. You got to have at least 6 or 8 minutes with their offense not on the field.
It's like how Michigan beats Ohio State. Long fucking drives. I feel like
give your defensive break.
You got to.
If they're doing that no huddle shit, like you're just asking for it.
Maryland only beat Towson 38-6. That was a bit weird. Let's continue.
Well, they were kicking their ass early.
Yeah, but I'm still. I mean, and it's his alma mater, so maybe you wanted to call it the Dogs. I can understand that. I want to talk about the Tulane Green Wave because I did lose this bet too. South Alabama. I felt pretty good about this. I played this.
Colby was raving about Tulane, and rightfully so.
I really thought South Alabama was going to beat him. Tulane looked fucking really, really good.
Yeah.
I think like if you were to grade the teams that played somewhat decent competition today, like Penn State looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Washington looked excellent, but I think Tulane and Washington more so than even Penn State.
Yeah. And it wasn't that South Alabama looked bad.
Yeah, I know. South Alabama passed the eye test and a lot of stuff, but I was like, Tulane was crisp. Michael Pratt was on fucking fire, man. Yeah. I know you were 14 getting half Chubb over there.
14 of 15, 294, 4 touchdowns. And I did spend most of the game with a quarter Chubb at the very least.
Wow. Very impressive.
Yeah,
they host Ole Miss next week. Ole Miss obviously dropped 1,000
play
points.
Calling check, athleticism check, physicality
uniforms check.
Uniforms check.
Louisiana beats Northwestern State. Virginia Tech. I ended up betting this late. Shout out to anyone that jumped on in the morning show. I took Virginia Tech minus 15, and I somehow won this. I thought for sure I was going to lose this. Virginia Tech 36, Old Dominion 17. Old Dominion I think is one of the worst teams too in the country. So, but they actually played better than what I thought they would look. So I don't know if that's a bad thing for Virginia Tech or not.
Virginia could beat Virginia Tech. That'll be an interesting game at the end of the year.
Yes, and GBO Farms sent me something about, dude. Where did you tag this on Twitter? What was the final score again? That was a lot of hours ago, but yeah. UT Permian Basin, just dropped like 94 points or some shit tonight.
Yeah,
they need to jump up. Shout out to them. They deserve a game ball.
Speaking of insane scores. Oregon scoring 81. It's a little unsportsmanlike.
Yeah, especially against little brother. What are you doing? UTEP beats Incarnate Word by 14. We were on the Miners to bounce back. I cashed there. Also, I cashed on New Mexico State. I told you to lay the points today. They dropped 58 on the Leathernecks of Western Illinois.
96-0 Permian.
Woo!
Booby Miles in the house.
I'd quit if I'm the defense coordinator. I'm out.
Right. We lost by 96 in a intramural game.
Yeah, that's true. And I quit. See, I told you. That's when it's time to leave. All right. Arizona 38, Northern Arizona 3. BYU wins. UCLA wins. Okay, Patty C. Game ball time before we got to get out of here, man. We were rocking for an hour and 13 minutes.
Let's go.
Obviously, UT Permian Basin deserves a fucking game ball. I'm putting one of those game balls on there. You scored 96 points. I don't give a shit. That is a game ball. What are you doing, Patty C, as your first game ball? Is it your Bearcats, or are you going to go someone that played a more respectable opponent?
I think I'll go with someone who's played a more respectable opponent. Look, I'll give UNC a game ball. They came in a game that they often would find a way to lose, and they won, and they did not give it up when the possibility was there. They got it done. Good job, UNC, and representing the ACC pretty well.
Colorado Buffaloes, we coming. Game ball number 1. I mean, you're 1-11 last year. You just beat a team that played in the national championship, and Shedeur Sanders threw for goddamn 7 million yards. That's my real first game ball, not UT Permanent Basin, even though I think that'd be a fun little joke.
You have to give Colorado a lot of credit.
Yes. Who's your second game ball, Patty C?
I'm trying to scroll down here and get a peek here. Give me 1 second.
I'm going. My second one is the Wyoming Cowboys. Look,
That was a nice play.
This proves my road theory. I really believe this. Like, if you just have to go on the road, the more road games you play, you're going to lose. It's college athletes. I don't care how good your fucking team is.
Yep.
I don't care.
No, that was a great win. Great job by Wyoming, and a nice look for the Mountain West.
Mountain West. How about the Mountain West? Fresno State wins at Purdue. Did San Diego State win or did they lose? San Diego State's up 15 on Idaho State. I know that's actually not that impressive, but I thought Utah State hung with Iowa better than we thought. And then Wyoming. So I just feel like, and then even with San Diego State beating Ohio week 0, they're looking pretty fucking good. They're looking good. I'm proud of the Mountain West.
You got to be proud of them.
My heart's in the Mountain West.
Talking about a Power 4. If there was going to be a Power 5 with the teams,
if they add Washington State and Oregon State, they are so much better than the other conferences.
Well, they'll win some playoff games, especially up in those Rocky Mountains. That's for sure. My second game ball.
Yeah, you're taking a lot of fucking time.
I am taking a long time. Look, I'm gonna give it. I'll give it to. I don't know, Colby. I got Syracuse kicking the shit out of
against Colgate.
I don't know. I'm looking up.
Why don't you pick Penn State?
You know what? Who I'm gonna give it to? I'm gonna give it to
Tulane.
Houston for hanging on and beating UTSA in a close game. They fought
with
hard.
Those sweet ass uniforms.
Yeah, beautiful uniforms representing the Oilers, doing it in style.
Okay, well, you got one more to give out here.
Okay.
Or no, I'll ask NC Nick. So we got. Let's go with those. Those are our
2
4
each?
game balls.
Okay.
Yeah. For players, for the keggers.
Yeah, I feel like one is fairly obvious, but I'll leave him for you.
Sanders.
There you go.
There you go. You threw for over 500 yards. Done. All right.
Boom. I'll give the other obvious one, Michael Penix, flinging the ball all over the field, 450 yards. Those are your 2 top passers for the, or actually Penix was number 3 behind Cam Ward, who had 451. But Penix looked awesome, so I'll give him a game ball.
And then for my man, we didn't even give Northern Illinois any love, or Fresno. Yeah, Mikey Keene. That's my second game ball. Mikey Keene, game 1. You came in and beat a Big Ten team on the road, and you look fucking really good doing it. So, Patty C.
There you go. My second game ball goes to a dude I skipped over in fantasy football
Travis
and
Hunter
over.
Probably should be on there too.
Travis Hunter probably should. Jaden Ott, running back for California, 188 rushing yards. Last year had 2 games over 100 yards, one for 274 against Arizona. The next best game was 104. I thought he was completely overrated, so I skipped over him in fantasy, but boom, 188 off the top. Maybe he is a fantasy all-star.
There we go. And I'll get NC Knicks. We got 4 games tomorrow, right? We got an FCS game that's really good, and 3 Power 5 or 3 FBS games, and then we have the Clemson Duke game Monday.
Florida State LSU is an awesome opening weekend game. 2 great fan bases.
Better on campus, but I prefer Northwestern Rutgers. I'm a big fan of the Big Ten West. Rutgers, for some reason, isn't in the Big Ten West, but they should be.
Well, what we have here is 2 coaches with Rutgers. Yeah, they should be. The exact same style of ball, defensive. Rutgers and Northwestern, 2 coaches that were wrongfully accused potentially of
Shiano
some abuse.
100% was.
Shiano was.
Yeah.
And the jury's still out on Pat Fitzgerald.
Well, then I don't think we're ever going to find out. It's a private pussy institution. They botched everything else. Fucking Northwestern, bunch of fucking. I hope you lose by 100 tomorrow, but Rutgers can't score 100.
Yeah.
I hope you lose by 7 tomorrow.
So mean. All right, we're going through the car wash here. Let's go.
Oh man, folks, I'm out of here. We're done. I made you a shit ton of money. Thank me later. Remember to tip your waitress. All right. Folks, this is the college football experience. All right. We're here all fucking week. I'm going to be live from Vegas Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Obviously there's no Monday show because of Labor Day. And we enjoy Clemson and Duke. Maybe we'll have a reaction that night. I don't know. But folks, until next time. Appreciate you rocking with us. Please get over to iTunes. Give us a 5-star review. Patty C's on Twitter at PattyC831. I'm on Twitter at DColBD. The College Football Experience is on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. Give us a follow. We're also host the College Basketball Experience, the FCS College Football Experience. This is the College Football Experience, of course. Noah Beanick with the College Baseball Experience does great work. And then the Big 12 Experience, having a tough night tonight. But yes, they come together as one on YouTube, youtube.com/the College Experience. Subscribe, tell a friend. Until next time, this is the College Football Experience Week 1 reaction show. You better start thinking about yours, and we out of here.
Run and shoot. We can really run and shoot.